Greetings, YouTube, and Angelo, the Ghetto Cyrano. This is Fragments of Memory, your friendly neighborhood armchair philosopher. The title of your vid, Let the Nigga See His Kids, and this is my response. Should a man, though not financially supporting his children, still be able to see his kids, or be allowed to see his children? Now, I'm going to answer with yes. I do believe that a man still has a right to see his children. Now, in our society, we have a tendency to favor women. The courts favor women, public opinion favors women, because the woman, of course, is the one that's ultimately has the child. Where, from a natural perspective, the man can just spill his seed or plant his seed, however you want to look at that, and of course the woman is stuck with that baby for 9 months. And she carries a child to term. So we sing about the wonders of the mother. We praise the mother. We put the mother on a very, very high pedestal. And rightfully so. But in us propping up the mother and the wonderful things she does, we downplay the importance of the father, when I think having a good father figure in a child's life is a beautiful and wonderful thing. A father sets the tone for so many things. A good father can be the difference between a young lady getting caught up with the wrong crowd, or that young man getting caught in the wrong crowd, or that young man doing some successful things. Yes, the child makes their own choice, but a good father can set the tone. A father shows sons how to be men. A father shows daughters what to look for in a potential mate. And when that father figure is absent, those things, you might not be in a very good position. Now, let me sort of provide a disclaimer that I'm not a father. I don't have any children. None of the relationships I've been in the past have culminated with the birth of a child. So, with that being said, I'm going to side with you again and say, yes, I think a man should be allowed to see his kids if he's not financially supporting them. And I want to say this, and I'm talking about those men that truly want to be in their children's lives, but maybe their finances aren't good. It can't just be some dude who had his fun and ran, but an actual guy that, hey, maybe he wants to see his kids, but circumstances aren't really good. And I'm not even going to blame it on the current economy. Especially if you're talking about a black man in America, his job prospects are tumultuous and have always been. And I'm not saying don't go out and strive to get a job, but do you follow what I'm saying? That I think as a black man in America, and on the job market, we got to struggle harder than most anybody, than more people. More often than not, we have the mentality of, since the woman carried the child, it's hers and hers alone. And I would have to disagree with that. I think that too often emphasis is because of the economic needs that are in our society, i.e., diapers, formula, food, living conditions, and the like. So much emphasis is put on finance and money and economics. And of course, there's more to life than just economics and material. You have to deal with the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, not just the monetary. And unfortunately, all we have is monetary value judgments, i.e., you're only valuable as long as I'm getting this amount of money out of you. Now, you did bring up a very good point, and you did talk about how sometimes a child can be used as a weapon against the father of the children. Let's say the mother and father were in a relationship, the relationship ended on bad terms. The woman may be angry because now he's found a new love, or she might have found a new love and he didn't, or whatever the case might be. Well, now the child is sort of a bargaining tool. He's sort of your weapon against the man because, oh, I'm feeling vindictive and angry. And I've heard of things like this happening. Now, I've heard of cases where a man is really trying to do right by his children. He wants to see them, but the mother of the child has all these angry, resentful feelings. And unfortunately, children often have to pay for the shortcomings of their parents, i.e., whatever deficiencies are in that parent's character, the child ends up paying for it in one way or another. In this case, it may be the absence of a father who really wants to be in the child's life and be present. And spending quality time is very important with children. I mean, I find it interesting that you said that you didn't grow up without your father, and that all that mattered to you was I wanted my dad there, not so he can buy me gifts or shower me with material things, but so that we can throw the ball around, and you know, I can go to my dad and we can have guy talk and father-son discussions. Now, I will say, living in the state of Missouri, the laws do favor women when it comes to child support and divorces and things of that nature. And I do think, unfortunately, men become the fodder of the beast known as the legal machine. We're sort of the victims to be served up to the dark gods known as the legal machine here in Missouri. And I will totally agree with you. Children do need fathers. One of the things a female does, which is a mistake, and it's to her detriment. I've often heard about women discuss the father of the children negatively in front of the children. And of course, in the children's eyes, it sort of undermines the importance of the father. It undermines the father, and it also brings forth an attitude of disrespect and disregard for your father. Now, I also want to point out that these women that speak negatively about these men that they have had children with realize you did make the choice to have sex with the man. If it was not rape, there was no coercion involved, and you willingly and knowingly walked into that situation, you chose that particular man. Flaws and shine across the board. So I can't really feel too angry at the man in that respect. And again, I'm only talking about those men who really genuinely want to have a connection with their children and want to have a hand in raising them and their upbringing. And unfortunately, children are sometimes the casualties of seeing drama unfold in front of them. Mom and dad are arguing, or mom's always saying, this N-word ain't S-H-I-T, and you get the gist. So I would say, yes, a man needs to see his children. A man has a right to see his children. And I will agree that on the flip side, Testazelle, I'm with you 100% when it comes to, if a man wants to see his children, he should fight for his children. He should fight to see his children. He should fight to have visitation rights. He should fight if he really cares about his children, because the child is truly your future in that respect. He is your future, and one day that child is going to grow up and be an adult, and then of course be a part of society. So if they grow up with messed up mentalities, what's that going to do to the greater society at large? And again, I'm going to once again reiterate, fathers are more important than they are giving credit for. And I'm going to agree with you. Marriage is important. I think marriage should be emphasized. I think people need to become marriage ready or be trained to be marriage ready. I don't know how. In fact, on one of my videos, I reviewed a book called The Female Solution. It's by Naima Latif. It's a really good read. I think you should check it out. And she just talks about what women need to look for in men, and what men need to strive for. I think that's the best way to put it. And avoid those free radicals. I like how you put that. I like totally how you put that, man. So that's my vid. So in answer to your question, yes, I think a man should see his children, even if he is not financially providing for them, because I do believe that certain situations come up where a man might be financially strapped. Well, there you go. Be easy like Sunday morning. Take care.